Welcome to Remote Cabin Radio, where we delve into history and mysteries. Today, we journey to the wilds of Alaska with report number 75309, a Class A Bigfoot sighting submitted by George Gillman. Join us as we explore this thrilling encounter investigated by the renowned Matthew Moneymaker. Stay tuned for an unforgettable story that will leave you questioning the unknown. Glennallen, Alaska, a historic and enigmatic locale. Glennallen, Alaska, is a small yet strategically significant community nestled in the Valdez-Cordova Census Area. Located at the junction of the Glenn Highway and the Richardson Highway, Glennallen serves as a crucial access point to several key destinations in Alaska. This town is situated in the picturesque Copper River Valley, near the Copper River and the majestic Wrangell-St. Elias National Park and Preserve. The name Glennallen is derived from two notable figures: Captain Edwin Glenn, an early explorer and surveyor of Alaska, and Lieutenant Henry Turreman Allen, who explored the Copper River region. The town became more accessible after the Glenn Highway's construction in the 1940s during World War II, part of efforts by the Alaska Road Commission to improve transportation in the region. As of the 2020 census, Glennallen boasts a population of around 500 residents. The community is diverse, with a blend of Alaska Native people and individuals drawn to the area's remote beauty and outdoor recreational opportunities. The local economy revolves around tourism, government services, and some commercial activities. Glennallen acts as a gateway for tourists heading to the Wrangell-St. Elias National Park and Preserve, the largest national park in the United States, known for its stunning landscapes, glaciers, and opportunities for mountaineering, hiking, and wildlife viewing. The Copper River is famous for its salmon runs, particularly the Copper River salmon, prized for its rich flavor and high oil content. The town is a hub for various outdoor activities, including fishing, hunting, snowmobiling, and camping. The region also has a rich indigenous history, with the Atna people being the primary native group, whose culture and traditions are integral to the community. One of the most significant engineering projects near Glennallen is the Trans-Alaska Pipeline System, TAPS, which passes close to the town. This 800-mile pipeline transports oil from Prudhoe Bay to Valdez, significantly impacting the region's development. Another major engineering feat is the Glenn Highway itself, whose construction during World War II improved connectivity and accessibility in the region, enhancing both military logistics and civilian transportation and economic development. Glennallen's military history is notable, particularly during World War II and the Cold War era. The construction of the Glenn Highway was part of military efforts to establish better transportation routes in Alaska, enhancing defense logistics against potential threats. However, no major military installations were established in Glennallen. Several important historical events have shaped Glennallen. The construction of the Trans-Alaska Pipeline in the 1970s brought significant economic activity and population growth, as workers and their families moved in temporarily. Over the decades, the development of highways and other infrastructure projects has been pivotal in shaping the town's accessibility and growth. Glennallen did not develop as a traditional town with a single founding date. Instead, it gradually evolved due to its strategic location at the junction of two major highways. This development was spurred by infrastructure projects and the economic opportunities they brought. In summary, Glennallen, Alaska, is a small yet strategically significant community with a rich history tied to exploration, infrastructure development, and its role as a gateway to one of the nation's most magnificent natural preserves. Its history, economy, and culture are deeply intertwined with the natural beauty and rugged terrain of the Copper River Valley. The unfolding mystery of Glennallen, an encounter with the unknown. In the spring of 2022, amid the awakening Alaskan wilderness, a story unfolded that would send chills down the spine of even the most hardened adventurer. The tale begins in May, in the remote and rugged Valdez-Chitina-Whittier County. It was a time when the sun's rays began to break through the long winter's darkness, revealing a landscape rich with life and mystery. The protagonist of our story, George Gillman, a seasoned Alaskan resident originally from Iowa, had spent 3 decades immersed in the wilds of Alaska. Now, he and his wife were on a routine trip along the Richardson Highway, heading towards the Copper River Princess Wilderness Lodge for a much-anticipated breakfast. The morning was bright, and the highway was a ribbon of asphalt winding through dense timber, flanked by the Copper and Taslina rivers, which snaked their way through the land, feeding the countless creeks and drainage areas. At approximately 8:30 a.m., as their car approached mile marker 106, an extraordinary event unfolded. George and his wife were just a quarter-mile away from their turnoff when a massive, two-legged figure darted across the road in front of them. It happened so quickly that in 3 powerful strides, the creature had vanished into the thick underbrush. The suddenness of the encounter left them in stunned silence, hearts pounding. George's mind raced, wishing for the clarity that snow tracks might have provided. But with the ground bare, they were left with only the memory of the creature and the brush it had disturbed. Later that summer, as the days grew long and the nights short, another eerie encounter added to the mystery. One late August evening, George was unwinding at home, the flicker of the TV casting shadows in the room. Suddenly, strange noises cut through the stillness, initially mistaken for the surround sound of his TV. But after muting the television, the sounds persisted, sporadic wood knocks emanating from the dense woods behind his home. George, living in seclusion at mile marker 109, had no close neighbors in that direction. The realization dawned on him with a shiver. The sounds were coming from the same area where they had witnessed the creature months earlier. Fear mingled with curiosity as George recounted the events to friends at work. Tales of large, inexplicable tracks surfaced, lending credence to his own experience. The local folklore of Glennallen and Copper Center buzzed with similar sightings, but nothing had prepared George for the personal encounter. He had always carried a sidearm while cutting firewood or riding in the woods, but now it felt more necessary than ever. Intrigued and somewhat skeptical, the renowned BFRO investigator Matthew Moneymaker reached out to George. Their lengthy conversation shed light on the intricate details of the sighting. George described the creature as upright and furry, with dark fur tipped with auburn highlights. Its human-like limbs and sheer size set it apart from any known animal. No human, George insisted, could cross the highway in just a few steps with such fluidity and speed. Moneymaker delved deeper, inquiring about the local wildlife. George, with his vast experience, noted the scarcity of deer in the area, but highlighted the abundance of moose. He elaborated on the seasonal movements of deer towards the coast near Valdez, where the winters were milder. The conversation turned towards the sustenance such a creature might need. George mentioned the prolific fish wheels along the Copper River, used by local natives to catch salmon during their runs. These wheels, set up in late May, captured copious amounts of fish, often more than the community needed. Moneymaker's curiosity piqued at the mention of nighttime fish thefts from these wheels. The locals, experienced and knowledgeable about bears, were certain it wasn't a bear. Bears, after all, would be seen, and their presence would be no mystery, nor did they suspect any human, as stealing food was unheard of in their tightly knit community. Everyone had access to more than enough salmon during the runs. A hypothesis formed in Moneymaker's mind. What if the creature George saw was linked to these nocturnal fish raids? The secluded location of the fish wheels, the untouched fish left in holding pens, and the absence of any obvious culprits painted a compelling picture. Trail cameras, cleverly disguised within the structure of the fish wheels, might reveal the truth. Such evidence could provide undeniable proof of the elusive creature's existence. As the days turned to weeks and the salmon runs ebbed and flowed, George and his wife remained vigilant. The dense timber and flowing rivers around Copper Center held secrets that had only begun to unravel. The mysterious wood knocks and the fleeting glimpse of the creature kept their imaginations alive with possibilities. Could it be that a Sasquatch, a creature of legend and lore, roamed the vast Alaskan wilderness, moving with the seasons, following the abundant salmon runs in spring and summer, and retreating to the coastal regions in winter? The pieces of the puzzle seemed to fit, yet the picture remained incomplete. For George, every trip down the Richardson Highway now held a new sense of anticipation and caution. The dense forest that once felt like a familiar companion now seemed shrouded in mystery. As spring turned to summer and the fish wheels were once again set up along the Copper River, George knew that the wilderness still had many stories to tell, stories of the unknown, waiting to be discovered. And so, the tale of the Alaskan Sasquatch, sighted on a bright May morning, continued to linger in the minds of those who dared to believe. In the heart of the Alaskan wilderness, where the rivers run deep and the timber stands tall, the legend of the creature lived on, whispering its secrets to those willing to listen. About BFRO investigator Matthew Moneymaker. Matthew Moneymaker is originally from the Los Feliz district of Los Angeles, California. He holds a Bachelor of Arts in English Literature from the University of California at Los Angeles, UCLA. Moneymaker is the founder of the Bigfoot Field Researchers Organization, BFRO, established in 1995. He is a writer and co-producer of the Discovery Channel documentary Sasquatch Legend Meets Science, 2001, co-producer of the TV series Mysterious Encounters for the Outdoor Life Network, OLN channel, in 2002, and producer of the 2003 International Bigfoot Symposium, Willow Creek Symposium DVD set in 2004. Moneymaker is perhaps best known as the co-host of Finding Bigfoot on the Animal Planet channel, which aired from 2010 to 2017. He currently serves as the director of the BFRO, continuing his tireless efforts to uncover the truth behind the elusive creature known as Bigfoot.